I was not prepared. I didn't expect you to be that quick on Discord. It's like,
yeah.
I just turned on my stream because I'm gonna kind of cheat and do this as the recording for the season 9 shit too.
Nice.
Because
I should probably bring up then just season 9 stuff, huh? Because I really don't know other than like.
I typed out notes already to go over this with you because this shit's fucking nuts.
Okay.
So for starters, they're doing a whole new conquest map, and by that I mean it's more a visual update. But there are some interesting things.
Yo, wait, hold on. The skins? Can we just real quick just fast forward over to the skins, my guy?
I wasn't gonna touch the season 9 skins, but they've already put some bangers out on the last patch. Like the fucking Naga Medusa skin looks dope. Like I'm ready to throw real people dollars at it.
Here's my thing though. I kind of agree with. I think it was maybe Weekend who said it. Or another Smite person that said it. Why do we only get like full snake skins for Medusa?
Because anatomically, she is the only one that it fits for.
No, I get you on that, but why do we need like 3 or 4 of them? Why can't we get like a full like person like Medusa? You know,
they'd
like,
have to.
She was cursed.
They'd have to redo all the rigging for it. It'd be a pain in the ass. Just for like all the animations.
Give her like a long ass dress. Boom, there you go.
No, that's not how that works.
No, but just essentially use the long ass dress as like what her bottom is.
Alright,
I think there's a way that you can do it without having to build a whole new rigging for her.
Maybe. It still makes the passive weird. Because her whole thing is she doesn't suffer the movement speed penalty when she's strafing or backpedaling.
Well, I'm assuming these season 9 skins are coming out in season 9.
Yeah. But, so
I can tell you right off the grip, I'm getting that Don Zaburo one and the fucking Loki. Both of those look dope as hell.
The steampunk skin that they put out last patch for AMC looks cool too. I burned a booster just to use it.
Really?
Yeah.
I like what I mean. They're changing Apollo too.
Yep. Apollo's finally getting a model update. Thank God.
I mean, yeah, but like.
He looks more like John Mayer now. I don't know what you're bitching about.
He does. I didn't even think of it until I looked at it. But we're getting rid of his like crazy like pompadour spike hair.
So? There's
is in game, does he look a little bit different than this card art? Because I'm just looking at the card art.
In game, he does look a bit different than the card art. It looks better than the card art right now. But, I mean, you're still going to get the retro skin, like with Hercules and with half of these other gods, so.
Yeah. The Cucullin skin also looks pretty cool, too.
I don't think I looked at that one. I kind of skipped over the skins for the rest of the, like, everything else.
Bro, some of these skins look fire as fuck. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm not really, like... I don't really give a shit about, like, the Nike one. The Daji one's, like, okay. I'm probably not going to get it, though. The Poseidon one's okay. Everybody's thirsting over the Thanatos one because he looks like Daddy.
But Thanatos is
Rama,
Daddy.
Yeah, Rama looks just like a stock fucking Dungeons and Dragons character, which is kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I would have to see this prototype or this skin in game. But it's not really selling it for me right now.
One of the videos I saw, they were rocking it. It's okay. The effects are nice on like the escape, but other than that, it's just kind of meh. It's just another one of the .exes for me.
The clear two winners here right now are the Crockley fucking Loki one and the Space Scoundrel fucking Dunsborough. Yeah, those two are dope. I'll drop money on those two.
So the conquest changes. They're getting rid of Draugr, which I had a feeling they were going to do, because it's as useful as a screen door in a fucking submarine.
Yeah, nobody's doing anything with it. Like, I pick it up if I'm, like, winning in lane, and that's pretty much the only reason why you pick it up.
And it doesn't even provide anything. However, the lesser Scorps, the 2 on duo and the 1 on solo, are gone, and they're being replaced with Naga, which tie into the new jungle objective, which I'll talk about in a second. They're getting rid of all the greater Scorps except for 1 by the Fire Giant Pit. But when you kill that Scorp, it buffs all of your jungle camps.
Okay.
Instead of, like, the 2, or the 1 on, the duo side buffing everything over there, and then the 1 over on solo side buffing everything over there. It's kind of it's kind of pointless to have two objectives that do the same thing just on one half of the map.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me. But the new objective is the obelisk. So each team gets one, and it's only for that team. So you can't steal it. And what happens is that after 4 minutes, the obelisk activates, and it marks camps, so like the harps and whatnot, and the new Naga camps. When you kill them, they generate offerings. They're a drop, kind of like a jungle buff. You pick it up, and it counts to your obelisk. And when you get 7 offerings, you get a buff. And whoever on your team goes over, grabs it. It's this little... it's called Indra's Scepter, and it's stupid. So, there's no enemies around you in like a 35-foot radius. You get 25 HP 5 for yourself and all allies. And it does 3 times that to all your structures. We can heal towers now.
Oh, really? Okay.
We can heal towers now.
Alright, sweet.
If there's enemies in that 35-unit radius, it fires lightning. Hits up to 5 targets every second. It prioritizes gods over minions, and it deals 3.5% of the max health. Which means it hit for a lot.
Yeah.
It's for a lot. They've also added sound effects. Kind of like, the minions have spawned to, like, Fire Giant, Gold Fury, Pyro. A lot of that stuff that is just like, audio cue, timer, map, alright, I guess it's up. That's really it for the Conquest map, outside of its visual redesign. The breakdown on the Relics. So, not much has changed on that. Tier 1's still free. Tier 2's 300 gold. Tier 3 is 500. There's no timing or level restrictions on the upgrades. So, at level 1 on your first Relic, you can buy your Tier 3 Relic of whatever you want for that slot. And then you still get your Ward Shard until level 12 when you unlock your second Relic.
Okay.
They took out Phantom, which is fine, honestly. Nobody bought it unless there was like a Odin, a Thor, and like 2 other chuckle fucks that could create walls. And they rolled that in with Shell, with one of the Shell upgrades.
Okay.
So Aegis has 2. You've got Aegis of Acceleration. While the Aegis is active, you get 7% movement speed, stacking up to 3 times for 4 seconds when you take damage. Aegis of Judgment, it's sort of like Pridwin. When you pop your Aegis, you take damage, or when you take damage, after it times out, you deal 100 plus 50% of the prevented damage in a 30-foot radius. It's capped at 50% of your max health, but you could go and tank a Poseidon Kraken and then nuke someone with it. Because 50% of your max health is still fucking a lot, especially if you're a warrior.
Wait, are they adding like a shield to Apollo's tool?
There are buffs. I didn't really read them, because a lot of that's most likely going to change. Like, hell, some of these numbers on the relics and whatnot are going to change, too.
Oh, definitely.
Belt of Frenzy has Belt of Berserker for its tier 3, which you get 30% increased damage, 50% attack speed increase, decaying every 0.5 seconds for 6 seconds, but that's still a massive amount at jump. So that I can see that being used to, like, walk in and fucking snipe a fire giant a lot easier. Insatiable Hunger, the other tier 3 on it, it's less damage and attack speed. Is 15 damage and 25 attack speed. But if a kill or assist is earned on an enemy while the buff is active, the duration refreshes.
Shit.
Yeah. So that lasts, if you can get the refresh, for 20 seconds. It's not specified, though, if the refresh is individual or team-wide. If it's team-wide, that's gonna be a little silly. Now, Blink, I've watched a video on Blink. Blink is dumb. Blink is fucking dumb. So the Corrupted Blink, if you blink on someone, they have their move and attack speed reduced by 15%. That's kind of meh. The Scorching Blink, though, is where it's at, apparently, on a couple of the videos I've seen. It's basically an Agni Dash.
Oh, sweet.
So, where you blink, at the end, it creates a line from where you started and where you ended that deals 20 plus 4 per your level as a damage over time. And it's true damage. And it ticks every half second for 4 seconds.
Wow, okay.
Yeah!
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna, from what I've seen, it works on, like, Pyro and Fire Giant, but it doesn't stack, so you have to stagger it, but you're hitting that fucking objective with true damage.
Yeah.
Which, I feel like that's gonna get fucked with before release. Like, there's no way. Some numbers are getting changed, something.
Yeah.
Bracer's kind of boring. Bracer Brilliance is up for 90 seconds instead of whatever it used to be. Still acts as a ward. Allies pass through get both move and power for 8 seconds instead of whatever it was depending on your health.
Mm-hmm.
Bracer of Illumination is just as boring as like the old Bracer, where it's either move speed or damage depending on health, but it spawns like little spritey things that patrol in an area that reveal enemies if they get hit by the sprite. It's cool, but it's boring.
Yeah.
Medcloak has Cloak of Ascetic, however the fuck you pronounce that. It's like the tier 2, but with each pulse, it reduces everyone's abilities cooldowns that are hit by the pulse.
That's actually, like, kind of worth.
Yeah, it's worth, but I feel like it's still gonna get overshadowed by some of the other ones. Like, fucking, I can see tanks picking Scorching Blink. Then you got Cloak of the Avatar, because Avatar Battle Pass.
I think you can still do, like, on support, you have a team with heavy fucking cooldown.
Yeah, that's true. Cloak of the Avatar is probably going to be a good, solid solo pick. Because, it's like the old Cloak, where, you know, it does the heal pulse, but it comes with a knockback shield, too, so if enemies running at you, they'll get kicked back about, I can't remember how far. Ankh is interesting. Blighted Ankh, it reduces healing and all that fun shit. It also shreds shield. 75% of shields are getting shredded. And anyone that's hit by the Ankh, if they're healed while under the effects of the Ankh debuff, they take increased damage. and all the healing that gets reduced gets distributed to all allies within like 40 feet of the relic owner.
Fuck me, okay.
I like Drowned Ankh better though. So it's kind of the same as Blighted, but when an enemy's healed, they drop a pool, kind of like the Alpwash 2 or 3, whatever it was. I haven't used him in a minute, but it's under them, lasts for 6 seconds, and the pool deals 2% of the current health every half second while the enemy's in it, and it refreshes the debuff.
Oh, so this is almost like kind of like almost like Jormungandr's pool ability mixed somewhat with almost like Loki's ability too.
Kinda, actually, yeah. Sprint, Heavenly Wings, whatever you want to call it. One of the upgrades, if you pop it near an enemy, it roots them for a second. Woo. Hasten Wings. God, I have this monitor so fucking zoomed out. Anyone hit with Hastened, they don't suffer the attack move penalty. And successful basics increase the duration of the buff by 1 second for a cap of an extra 4 seconds on the duration.
That's pretty lit.
It's lit, but overall it's kind of boring. It's like that's old Hasten Fatalis right there.
Yeah.
Horrific. Basically, the catch is if an enemy deals 10% of an allied player's max health while under the effect of Horrific, the effects are increased by 10% up to a max of 3%, so it's a 30% increased debuff. Ooh. Trembling Terror is interesting. If an enemy deals 30%, or if an enemy is dealt 30% of their max health, they're trembled for a second and a half, so it's basically a Cabrakan 2 rolled into it, which can be nifty. Shell, Fortifying Shell, once the shield expires or breaks, there's a new buff which provides 20% damage mids and 20% move speed for 30 seconds. And then Phantom Shell is just Phantom and Shell. Beads, I already told you about this one, but CDR beads are back. Yeah. Fucking excited about that one. Because it's all cooldowns by 3 seconds, which can really be game-changing on like the Morrigan, whose ult is determined on the cooldown time of the ult of the person she turned into. And then the other one, Chaotic Beads. If you cleanse a CC, you deal 7% of the max health of the person that hit you with the CC. Yeah. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. I like it, but everyone's gonna pick up CDR beads, because fucking CDR beads.
Yeah.
Thorns is interesting. If dealt 120 times your level in damage while you have Thorns on, the effect will end early. While active, enemies can only lifesteal you for 50% of their total lifesteal. And you gain 5% attack speed and move speed for each enemy around you. So that's going to be an interesting warrior one for like Nike, who Thorns is pretty much an always picked. She goes in, pops her ult, so you get that extra prots and all that. And then all of a sudden you're kind of fucking people up, because they're going to target you to shred your shield, and all of a sudden they're taking damage. The other one, Thorns of Sapping Strength, enemies only can life steal you for 75%, but every basic you're hit with reduces the cooldown by a half second. So that's a good one with a lot of the ADC cheese I've seen as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Sundering Spear, honestly, the only one that's interesting to me is the Siphoning Spear, where you link yourself with an enemy god, and it shreds 75% of any shields they have on, and the enemy god has 5% of their current health dealt as true damage for 4 seconds, and you receive half of that as healing. And it has 2 charges, and the second hit of the charge will just refresh the duration, it won't extend it. Telly, the only real good one with Telly is Persistent Telly, where kill and assist will reduce the cooldown on it by 10 seconds.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. The glyphs are interesting. I just hope that they do something to replace some of the items that they removed, because they removed Poison Star and Malice, and they turned those into glyphs. And because of it, those trees are looking a little empty to me. So I'm hoping closer to launch.
Yeah, but there wasn't really like a lot of times that you pick those up. Like those are like super fucking shit.
They were, but with those 2 items gone,
I'm gonna have to change like my weird fucking Carnanos build, like what?
Yeah. But like with those 2 items gone, it does free up 2 more essentially item spots for them to do something interesting. I don't know, I'm looking for them to fill those 2 items with something unique.
Yeah.
So the first for Heart Ward, it gains... So every time you're hit with an ability, you gain a stack dependent... Sorry, read that backwards. Oh god, I'm so fucked up for my shot. I didn't sleep too well. Well, I'd roll over on the arm that they shot me with in my sleep and then wake myself up because my arm's sore. So,
yeah. I've been dealing with a head cold pretty much last end of the week, right? And I finally got my CPAP machine in.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously people are like, oh, how's it going? I'm like, well, I wish I could tell you more, but, like, I honestly can't really tell because...
Because you can't breathe anyway.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I feel a little bit better, yeah, but, like...
Well, I'm sure you're going to be noticing it a lot more once you don't have a cold.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's going to be the biggest test.
So the big thing with the glyphs is that the glyph costs 600 gold. There's no level requirement, so you could zerg your way through, let's say, Heart Ward. Zerg your way up after you get your tier 3 and just throw on the glyph, and that could be your first item if you really felt like it. But Heart Ward, so you gain a stack every time an enemy within 40 units of you casts an ability. At 5 stacks, your next basic silences the god for a second and a half on a 45-second internal cooldown. Yeah, it sounds pretty broken, in my honest opinion. Especially for, like, if you dive the line and Poseidon catches you and he's like, oh, I'm gonna Whirlpool Kraken you. Bonk. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Then Amulet of Stronghold, it just takes your physical prots and converts it to magical prots at a rate of 20%. I mean, it's useful. But I need a little bit more flavor with that.
Yeah. Let's give me something else.
Yeah. Breastplate of Valor's interesting. It has Breastplate of Determination, so every time you're hit with an ability, you gain prots that match the damage type you took. So if you took a physical ability, you get physical prots, blah, blah, blah. Each kind of prot stacks up to 4 times, and once both of those hit 4 stacks, you get 20% move speed, and then you get double the prots provided by the stacks for 8 seconds. And then at the end of the duration, all the stacks are wiped. Meh.
Okay.
Meh.
Yeah, that's alright.
Vigilance, though, is a lot more interesting. When your ultimate finishes casting, you provide an aura that reduces basic attack damage by 30% for 5 seconds.
Well, that's pretty good.
And that one's going to be a guaranteed build on Ares.
Yeah.
Because even though it's 5 seconds, that's another aura for his passive.
Yeah.
DB basically got Poison Star and Malice rolled into it for its glyphs. So crits poison for 2 seconds, poison slows God by 10%, reduces damage output by 15, and then a crit reduces your cooldown on all your abilities except your ult.
Yeah, that's alright.
It's alright. It's a nice little flavor added to Deathbringer to give it just some little extra. But I still hope they do something to replace Poison Star and Malice that's just way out of left field to really spice Season 9 up. I know it's already spicy, but I want it extra spicy. Jotun's got one, or got 2 glyphs rather. Got Ferocity, which your next basic attack marks an enemy god. If you hit the marked god, or if the marked god hits you, you gain a stack. Each stack provides 2% increased damage towards the marked god, capping out at 20% with 10 stacks. Kind of spicy. A little bit.
Yeah.
Jotuns, though, if you drop between or below 40% of your health, you gain 10% move speed, 40% physical ability lifesteal for 5 seconds. Not many physical gods have items that give them ability lifesteal.
Yeah,
that's usually built into their kit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And mages. Yeah, I like it. It's gonna be nutty. Mages, I feel like they got a little shafted, just because like your warriors, your hunters, your junglers can build both DB, Jotuns. Mages only got Rod. You got Calamitous Rod, which when you hit someone with an ability, you bring down a meteor, dealing 100 times 30% of your magical power in a 15-foot radius. And then Nimble Rod's going to be interesting.
I mean, that's pretty fucking hilarious.
It is. It's hilarious. But I just feel overall they got the shaft, because like the only other items for glyphs they can build are the defensive items, and we're not really going that unless we're rolling a mage solo.
Yeah.
Nimble Rod, though, is going to be huge for like Soul and your other mage ADCs. Every 40% every 40 magic power, you gain 2% attack speed. Which means, like, on Soul to max attack speed, you don't need to go a full ring build anymore.
Yeah, that's actually pretty fucking sweet.
So I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more mage ADCs.
Well, I feel like that's where kind of, like, weirdly... I feel like mages were going in the ADC world more near the end of this, because all regular ADCs were going into the mid-world.
Hey, Badger, what's up? This was honestly kind of a last-minute thing. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, we just sort of, like...
There's not a lot of mage play now as is. Like, you're seeing a lot more hunters in mid, too.
Yeah. So, I mean... Hey, whatever. Maybe at some point... I mean, for me, I don't really care, because I don't play fucking mid. I don't play mages, so...
Except for your mage
like,
ADC.
Yeah, but, like, I'm good. I mean, the ADC got a buff. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the fucking mages.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Badger, how's university going for you? Also, we've been sitting here and nodding you for a half hour.
Well, we've just been talking about this new film.
Yeah. Ugh. Alright,
I say that now I have to claim one mage.
You had to talk shit.
Yeah, right? Alright, cool. I guess I'll probably play like that.
Also, don't mind me, I didn't do an OBS test.
I could finally do Rajin as an ADC now. Is that what that means?
Yes. Cool. Because I didn't do any of my pre-system checks. I was like, oh no, I don't know if chat's showing up in the actual stream window. Because I'm a fucking bum. Didn't even think about doing a stream last night before I went to get my booster.
No.
I was just like, oh great, my booster's at 11 o'clock at night. I'm just gonna sit here and fucking butt chug water so I don't feel like ass.
Yeah, right.
The scary part with my booster, so like I wait the 15 minutes, walking around CVS picking up, snacks and Gatorade and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 15 minutes goes up, I start to drive home, and then I'm like, it's a little hard to breathe right now. That's weird. I'm kind of having some difficulty swallowing. Fuck!
Yeah, we felt pretty fine. The only issue we ran into was like Aaron and Aaron's mom's arm was sore for a little bit longer than they expected it to be. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it makes sense because they're shoving matter in an area that, doesn't really have room for that kind of matter.
Yeah.
Badger, when it comes to your essays, with the conversations we've had, you are a lot more intelligent than you're giving yourself credit for. Regardless of whether you've gotten the feedback or not, with the just random conversations we've had about politics and whatnot, you got this.